Listen to that crackle. This is the exact sensory end state we are working toward today. Heavily caramelized, steaming hot, and perfectly glazed. If you walk past the street food stalls in the Philippines, you will see the gold standard of lechon manok. Vendors slowly rotate rows of these marinated chickens directly over glowing charcoal embers to render the fat and build that signature crust. Replicating this result at home isn't a matter of specialized hardware. This specific flavor profile and texture is a function of how the meat is seasoned and how the air moves around it. Here is our physical checklist. We are working with a whole raw chicken, fresh lemongrass, basic kitchen twine, and an elevated roasting rack. The outcome depends on committing to a 24-hour preparation cycle. This time frame allows the marinade to penetrate the muscle fibers long before the meat ever encounters the heat of the oven. Step 1 is building the liquid environment. We combine soy sauce, fresh calamansi juice, minced garlic, black pepper, and brown sugar to construct a concentrated flavor delivery system. Before introducing the meat, you must whisk this mixture until the brown sugar is completely dissolved. If the sugar remains settled at the bottom of the bowl, it will fail to reach the muscle tissue during the soak. Once the liquid is prepped, submerge the chicken. You are looking for total airtight coverage, leaving absolutely no dry surface area exposed to the air. Seal the container and place it in the refrigerator. We hold it here overnight to give the salt sufficient time to break down the proteins. When you pull the chicken out the next day, do not rinse it off. That residual layer of soy sauce and dissolved sugar clinging to the skin is required to form the final crust. Through the process of osmosis, the salt in the marinade allows the muscle fibers to absorb and hold more water. This increased internal moisture prevents the meat from drying out during the high-heat roasting phase. Now we install the internal aromatics. Take the thick base of your lemongrass stalks and strike them heavily with the spine of a chef's knife. Shattering the dense cell walls forces the essential oils out so they can vaporize inside the bird during cooking. Gather that bruised lemongrass, along with halved onions and smashed garlic, and cram them tightly deep into the main cavity of the chicken. This split-screen diagram shows why we use trussing. It ensures even heat distribution by bringing the limbs closer to the body mass, preventing the sprawling wings and legs from burning before the rest of the bird is cooked. Start by looping a piece of kitchen twine securely around the ankles. Pull the legs tightly together and cinch them down. Next, take the loose wingtips and tuck them firmly underneath the main body mass. This physically protects them from the direct, aggressive heat of the oven elements. By locking the chicken into this compact structural shape, you guarantee that the thin breast meat and the thick thighs reach their target temperatures at the exact same moment. Place your trussed chicken onto the roasting rack to elevate it above its own drippings, and put it in an oven set to a constant 375 degrees Fahrenheit. From here, you must run an active maintenance loop. Every 20 minutes, open the door and brush the skin thoroughly with a mixture of your reserved marinade and a small amount of oil. This manual intermittent basting simulates the continuous fat rendering of a commercial rotisserie spit. You are building up thin layers of caramelization to achieve a deep gloss and crunch. This cross-section diagram highlights our absolute metric for safety and success. You insert a thermometer into the deepest part of the thigh, pulling the bird from the oven the moment the readout hits exactly 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. As a secondary check, you can pierce that same deep thigh muscle with a paring knife. The juices flowing from the puncture must run perfectly clear, with no traces of pink. Applying that disciplined basting schedule alongside precise temperature monitoring effectively replicates a street vendor's results. Once the chicken hits that target temperature, stop all action. Transfer it to a cutting board and let it rest untouched for 15 minutes. Right now, the internal pressure of the liquids is high. Slicing into the meat immediately will cause the moisture to be forced out onto the board, leaving your chicken dry. Just wait for the timer to expire. When you finally press the knife down for that first cut, the skin will audibly snap, revealing moist muscle fibers steaming with lemongrass and garlic. You have produced authentic lechon manok using standard home tools. Serve it right away with sweet liver sauce or spiced vinegar. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit subscribe for more culinary breakdowns.